Good evening. In today's session, we will discuss about incremental load. So, what is an incremental load? The process of loading the new data from source system to destination is called as incremental load. So, whatever the new data coming into your source system, so that data you should load into destination with all the necessary business logic implementations. So, the process of loading the new data from source system to destination with all the necessary business logics is called as incremental load. So, as per data warehouse theoretical process, this is the definition of incremental load. But when you are working in the environment, in the work environment, based on organization, maybe slight change may be there for this definition of incremental load. So, do not go as per the definition of incremental load, rather than find out what is your organization policy. What your organization policy is decided for the incremental load, you have to implement that. So, basically the people will talk about two things, two types of options for the incremental. One is loading only the new data from source system to destination along with the required business logics is called as an incremental load. But some people may say that load the new data, along with that what are the changes occurred in the existing data, even that should be captured. But strictly speaking, you are trying to capture the records which are having some changes in existing data. That process is called as in CDC, changed data capture. Incremental load is different, CDC, changed data capture, is different. But some people will say that they will embed this CDC also into incremental load and they will do that logics. So, try to identify or find out what is your organization policy. Whether they are asking to load only the new data, along with the new they are asking to capture even changes, means you try to implement that also. But right now I am showing an example or scenario in such a way that to load only the new data, not the changes, because the changes basically comes as CDC, changed data capture. So, how to do this? For example, here my tables, source table is, I am having the table called as an SRC underscore sales 1 with the fields like receipt ID, item number, item name, quantity and rate per unit. But usually we will do this incremental load with the help of timestamp, but I am trying to show in the different format. So, I am having a table called as an SRC underscore sales 1. This is my data what I am having in my source table. So I am having 4 records are there. So these 4 records I will capture and I will put into my destination table. But after that, if any new data came into this table, only those new records I will capture it and I will put into the destination. So this is my source table. Maybe on one particular day, this is my source data. And what is my destination means, so I am having a table called as TGT underscore sales 1. Right now my table is empty. This table is empty. My destination table is looking empty. So destination table doesn't have anything. Source table is SRC underscore sales 1. And destination is TGT underscore sales 1. So your destination table is TGT underscore sales 1, and right now the table is empty. Now we are trying to load this data from source to the destination. Now it is like full load. Right now the destination table doesn't have anything, so I need to load the complete data. So that means all the records what you are having here should come into the destination table. Once the data came into the destination table, the next process, only the new data should come. Means, for time being here, I will try to type these records. Maybe something it is 1, item number is 101, item name is radio, quantity is 1, rate per unit is 400, so the total amount is 400. It is about the first record. When it comes to the second record, it is 102. Name is USB, quantity is 20, rate per unit is 200, so it is 8000. Next, when it comes to the third record, 101, name is, for example, it is showing me as a radio, its value is 25. And the rate per unit is 400, and the value is, for example, something like some value. Next, when it comes to the fourth record, 103, and it is printer, the quantity is 50 and the value is 500, so it is 25,000, something like this. This after first load, this is an output. After first load. After first load, this is an output. Now, my source system is changed. In my source system, some of the new data came here. So, what is that new data means? Something like this. The same source table is there, but the number of records are increased here. The number of records are increased. So, what are those records means? Maybe something in this format. 5. For example, 104. The name is TV, quantity is 10, value is 100. Next one is 6. Here the number will be reciprocated, will be generated automatically because it is a primary key. So, with the help of some form, the business end people will generate that number and they will store it. So, here I am assuming the data is coming in this format. 105, maybe it is something like, for example, pen, and quantity is 5 and value is 10. Maybe next one is a 7 and it is 101, radio, quantity is, for example, 20 and the value is 400. Like some sort of records you got it. Now, when you perform the ETL process, already you are having 4 records are there. So, here it is taking all the 4 records in your ETL process, in this ETL process. But now it should take only 3 records, because already the previous records are already present. So, you should not capture those records, take only 5, 6, 7 and try to get this data into your destination. Try to get only these new records with the new calculated amounts. So, for example, it is something like at 10,000. Next one is 500. And next one is 8,000. So, try to append the new data only. Don't load the complete data again. Usually the people will say, place a lookup transformation, check whether record is available or not, and if it is available, reject it. If it is not there, insert it. Usually the people will ask to implement such type of logics like source table. That means you are using OLEDB source. OLEDB source called as an src underscore sales 1. After that, lookup transformation on which table? TGT underscore sales 1. And after that, observe whether it is a match record or no match record. If it is no match record, then only they will ask to perform something called as insert into destination. But we need to have an amount, so derived column For what? Calculate amount. After that, OLEDB destination, called as TGT underscore sales 1. Here OLEDB source is connected to lookup is connected to derived column is connected to OLEDB destination, and maybe here we are saying these are no match rows. What are the rows are not found in the destination? Only those rows you are taking into derived column and you are calculating total amount and putting into the destination. It is a model 1 approach. But not advisable. It is not at all advisable. Model 1 is not advisable, not recommended. Why? Means if your destination is having approximately 10 million records and the source is also having 10 millions plus 1 record. Source is having 10 millions plus 1 record, destination is having 10 million records. So when you place lookup, what happens? It will check whether record is there or not for 10 millions plus 1 record, it will check. Because of that, it takes very long time. Unnecessary options. Instead of that, try to go for model 2. What is that model 2 means? You find out what are the new records from the source itself and take only those records. How do you do this? Means in control flow, create one variable first of all. Create one variable called as an previous receipt ID, previous ID with the default value 0. With the default value 0. Once this variable is ready, then try to have one more thing called as an execute SQL task. Place one object, execute SQL task, and here find out maximum receipt ID. Find out maximum receipt ID under destination and substitute and assign to variable. So and assign it to the variable. Once this part is completed, then go with data flow task. In the data flow task, place the OLEDB source. For example, SRC underscore sales 1. But how? With SQL command option. Instead of choosing simply table name, you go with an SQL command and write the select statement. Maybe something like this. Select star from SRC underscore sales 1 where receipt ID greater than question mark. And what is that question mark means? What is the variable value you are having? You substitute here as a parameter, substitute that value. So as per, like if you take the second execution process, by that time already you are having a records up to the 4. So maximum ID means it gives me 4. Now I am saying select star from SRC sales 1 where receipt ID is greater than 4, means you will get 5, 6, 7. So this is the approach what you need to follow instead of taking lookups. Then you try to have a derived column. For what? For performing calculation. Then you try to take the OBIEE destination for the table called as TGT underscore sales 1 and insert the records. So try to do this type of process. Try to implement in this format. This is the data flow task, and your executable task is connected to data flow task, and this entire thing is present in your control flow. So in the data flow task, OBIEE source is connected to derived column is connected to destination. So what happens at the source level itself, you are filtering instead of bringing that complete data to SSIS and rejecting it. Instead of that, we are trying to reject the records at the source level itself rather than bringing to SSIS and rejecting it. So model 2 is advisable rather than model 1. So we'll try to do that process here. We'll create a new package. We'll rename this, right click, rename, incremental load, first of all I'll create one variable, add new variable, I'll give the name as previous ID. Data type is integer 32, value is 0. After that, drag execute SQL task, double click on execute SQL task, result set is single row. Next, connection, new connection, I am choosing as a destination because I want to know what is the maximum ID. Click on OK. SQL statement, write the SQL statement. Here I mentioned that I want to write a statement like select star from. Strictly speaking, it creates a problem. Not exactly select star. This is okay, fine. But here in the execute SQL task, we are saying find out the maximum receipt ID. For that purpose, I will write the query in this format. Select max of receipt ID from target table called as a TGT underscore sales 1. So if you are already having some data means fine, you will get some value. But if your table doesn't have any data, it shows me null, which is a problem. To overcome this, what I will do means I will say is null max of receipt ID replace with 0. If it is a null, I am asking to replace with 0. Now we got the query in this way. So I will take this SQL statement, keep it in this SQL location, click on OK. So we are saying that result set is single row, connection is destination, SQL statement is select is null of max of receipt ID, comma 0 as previous ID. After that, go to the result set option, click on add. It took the variable automatically and map it to the 0th argument. Then click on OK. So execute SQL task is completed. After that, drag the data flow task, link execute SQL task to data flow task, double click on data flow task, drag the source, OLEDB source, double click on it, new, choose the source connection, OK. Table A is SRC underscore sales 1. Columns, these are the columns having receipt ID, item number, item name, quantity, rate per unit, click on OK. Then I will try to have a derived column, link OLEDB source to derived column, and here add one new column called as an amount and define the formula, that is quantity into rate per unit. Click on OK. After this, we will try to put this calculated data into the destination called as an OLEDB destination, link derived column to OLEDB destination, double click on it, tabular view. Table A is TGT underscore sales 1, TGT underscore sales 1, mappings, map the columns, receipt ID, item number, item name, quantity, rate per unit and amount. Click on OK. But this one, if you do like this, it will try to load all the records from the source, which is not required for us. So what I will do means, OLEDB source, instead of choosing the table name like this, what we will do means, we will go with SQL command. Don't choose tabular view because it will try to load all the records. Again, you have to take a filter, and that means conditional split. Within the conditional split, you need to reject the records. Instead of that, use SQL command and write the query as per the requirement. So maybe build the query in this particular format, like select star from SRC underscore sales 1 where receipt ID is greater than question mark. So I need to pass a value for this. So click on parameters. I am saying 0th parameter for the 0th parameter, I want to give the value belong to a variable called as previous ID. What is the previous ID I got from execute SQL task? What is the value I got from execute SQL task? I kept into the previous ID variable. That value I am assigned to the 0th parameter, that is nothing but this question mark. Then click on OK. So that those things are going to derived column and to the destination. File menu, save all. Right now here, if you observe, the source is consisting 4 records, destination is empty. So all the records should come here. All the records should come into the destination. So we'll execute our package. Start. Execution is done. Check the output. All the 4 records are came into this destination. Now at the source level, I am making some changes. Insert into SRC underscore sales 1. values of receipt ID is 5 and what is the data I showed here, the same values I will try to provide. $105, that is receipt ID is 5 and item number is 104, name is what, TV, and the quantity is 10 and the RPU is 100. Same way I am trying to write one more insert statement, that is a 6, 105 and the item name is a pen, quantity is a 5 and value is 10. One more record, receipt ID is 7 and item number is 101 and name is radio and quantity is 20, amount is 400. 3 records, I will try to insert these records. So what are the records present in the source table and the destination table means this is an output. Source is having 7 rows, but whereas destination is having only 4 rows. Now if I execute, it should load only the new rows 5, 6, 7. So we will try to observe whether it is happening or not. To know exactly what are the records you are getting, just to know that I will keep one option called as data viewer. So select this link, enable data viewer, execute it, start. So here if you observe, it took only the records like 5, 6, 7. This is at what level? OLEDB source. OLEDB source is giving only 3 rows as an output, 5, 6, 7. And this data we are going to the derived column and from there to OLEDB destination. So here if you observe, it is showing clearly that OLEDB source gave only 3 rows. But strictly speaking, in the database table, OLEDB source is consisting 7 rows, but our package is reading only 3 rows because of that we are implemented where class with the help of variable. So and only those 3 rows are passed into the OLEDB destination. That means only the new records we have captured and only those new records we kept into the destination. So this is what incremental load. So next to this is incremental aggregation. That means the newly aggregated value for the particular item will be aggregating to the previous aggregated value. That is what incremental aggregation. But at present we did only incremental load here. Incremental aggregation is done under fact table, whereas incremental load is mostly for the dimension tables. So this is about incremental loading. Thank you.